Hi, so in this video I want to talk a bit about Operation Hummingbird. Now this was the police operation to find evidence against and arrest Lucy Letby. And before I start, I'm going to give a shout out to Carl Perkins. He is doing some videos about Lucy Letby, and he's got some interesting things to say. He's also got his own background, so he's got some really good insights. Now, he was a fraud officer at one time, and he also had a premature baby, so he has his own experience of that. So it's really good that he can give his own views on this as well. So he comes from the standpoint that Lucy is innocent and has been wrongfully convicted. My standpoint is just that the conviction is unsafe. But I think it's well worth watching his videos. He's got a lot of interesting things to say, a lot of interesting angles, and a lot of really, really good insights. So, Operation Hummingbird. So this was the operation to arrest Lucy Letby and, to find all the evidence. There is a video about it on YouTube. I thoroughly recommend that you watch it. It's got a lot of interesting things. Now, in my opinion, this was, the whole operation was done really, really well, really thoroughly. I've really, it was done sensitively. They went over all the information really thoroughly. So, when they made the arrest, and obviously it was with the information they had, but everything was done really well and really thoroughly by the police. So why am I saying, yeah, but I don't think the conviction's safe? Well, I mean, the police, they can only work with the information they have. Now, I was a legal secretary for a short time, and where I was working in the criminal department. So that meant most often people who'd been hauled into the police station and then go to court. So I've kind of obviously got a bit of experience of what the procedure is and how this all works. So the police, they need obviously enough evidence or probable cause to arrest somebody in the first place. They can't just go in and drag you in to the cells and arrest you on nothing. And they can't secure a conviction. That's for the courts. So what happens is, obviously, the police get called out. Someone thinks there's a crime going on, the police get called out. And if they think a crime's been committed, they'll take you in for questioning. Maybe they'll arrest you then, maybe, they don't have enough to keep you on, so they let you go. But they arrest you on charges, and they can't charge you with things that you haven't done or they think you haven't done. So if you've robbed a shop, that could be say trespass, it could be vandalism, if you've like broken a window or something. It could be causing alarm and distress. So they kind of go through all the points of law to see which particular points that you've probably broken. And it's usually, I mean, from my experience, it's usually quite a long list. And then the person goes to court, and, you know, the solicitor is trying to sort of get rid of any charges that don't apply. They're trying to reduce the charges. So it is almost like a bargaining process. So the police obviously would have talked to people in the hospital. Well, it was the doctors that went to the police in the first place with their evidence or their records or whatever. So the police had to take it seriously. That's exactly what they had to do. It's exactly what they should have done. It's exactly what they did do. They were careful in how they made the arrest because they wanted it to be watertight, so she couldn't claim wrongful arrest and then like nobody could sort of get her in court. Again, that was correct, because if you've got enough suspicion, you don't want someone slipping through the net. So that was completely the right thing to do. So, to be fair to the police, they are working with the evidence they have at the time. Now, if more came up after the fact, they can't actually do anything with that. So, with the evidence they were given, it looked like, a really heinous series of crimes had been committed. So they arrest her on that probability. This was the right thing to do. So why am I saying this when I think the conviction is unsound? Is because that's the evidence they were presented with. So that's what they went with. So when we got to court, again, and obviously, beyond police reports, because the statements from the police are presented in court. Sometimes the police give evidence in court as well, because obviously they've been questioning the suspect and arresting the suspect and what have you. So, I mean, in court, again, what evidence was presented, it came from the hospital, the doctors. So that's really how that all worked. And a lot of other evidence and differential scenarios, that's come up really after the fact, after the convictions, and it really should be considered. But as far as the actual arrest and the operation to arrest, everything about that was done completely correctly, completely thoroughly. So, yeah, So I got one more video after this, so hope to see you in that video.